My name is Andrew Mason, and I'm 22 years old.
What do you think people's first impression of you is?
I think people's first impression of me, typically they think I'm a friendly, energetic, fun person, which I think I am as well. But I think that a lot of people think that I'm always like that, so they're surprised if I'm ever serious or trying to just kind of be more appropriate to a situation or something. But overall, I think people generally like me at first. And as time goes on with the relationship, I still think people like me.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Newbury Park, California. Born and raised there, lived in the same house pretty much my whole life. Then I never really ended up leaving Newbury Park until college. When I was a freshman, I went to UC Irvine down in Orange County. Went there for 1 year, ended up transferring to Boston University in Massachusetts. Honestly, a long story, involves a girl, followed a girl out there. We're no longer together, unfortunately, but no regrets. I love everywhere I've been so far, but started in Newbury Park, where I'm back now.
Transferred from UC Irvine to, you said to Boston University?
Yeah.
Two completely different worlds.
Totally. It was a big adjustment. It was going from, of course, UC Irvine. It was about 80 miles away, so I lived on campus there. It was the first time living out of the house. But it was still really local. It's still close. I could go home, see the parents whenever I needed to. Thanksgiving at my house, that kind of thing. Do some laundry at home. But then going to Boston, it was a different major. I became a journalism major. No more going home on weekends. Gone for 5 months at a time. The snow, I'd never lived in the snow ever. Anything like that. It was a big adjustment, but I love Boston. I miss it a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Didn't pick up any Boston accent, though.
Did not, luckily. I'm not a fan of the Boston accent. That's something I do, probably because I associate it with sports fans, and I'm not a fan of this Boston sports. But I love Boston out there. It's a good time.
Clearly a fan of the California sports, though.
I am. I got some, we were talking about tattoos. I got some Lakers tattoos as well on me. I'm a big Laker fan. I love everything about the Lakers. Kobe Bryant is like my idol, my big idol. So I always got to rep LA.
That's awesome. That's quite a commitment. LA Laker tattoos.
I know it is. I got two of them. And honestly, what they mean so much more to me than just the Lakers. What they really mean is Los Angeles, California, kind of where I'm from. Going out, I basically lived in Massachusetts the last 2-3 years of my life. And so I kind of felt homesick, felt like I wanted to rep where I was from. So that was a way to do it. Also, Kobe, his big thing is mamba mentality, which really just means getting your tasks done. With no matter how you do them, you got to get your stuff done. And that really spoke to me as well. So I actually got that tatted on my bottom lip.
Okay, we have to see it.
You want to see it?
Yes.
All right, let's see.
Okay.
Get closer. Just honestly, like, so many people don't get it, which I totally understand. Like, if you're not into sports or whatever, it might seem silly, which it honestly is at the end of the day. But it really just means grinding, doing what you need to do. Things are going to be tough, but at the end of the day, you got to get your stuff done. And so that's really, like, it was important enough to me to get the tattoo. It eventually does fade. It takes, like, I don't really know. I've heard everything from 1 year to 10 years. So who knows when it'll fade, but...
Did it hurt?
It hurt a lot. All my tattoos, well, both of them have hurt a lot, despite what some people say. Some people told me, oh, it doesn't hurt too bad, but it was definitely the worst pain I've ever experienced.
So do you go to a lot of Lakers games?
I do. I've go to a bunch. I love anything basketball. I love to go to. Went to a game not too long ago. Going to go to another one soon this year. So it's really fun.
I'm a Lakers fan too.
You're a Laker fan?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You grew up in this area as well?
Nope.
Okay. Gotcha.
Nope.
Lakers.
But I'm a sports nut, so...
Exactly. You can like them from anywhere, honestly.
Exactly. So tell me, the love of basketball, the commitment to the mamba mentality, how does that translate into how you live your life?
Honestly, I try to do everything I can with as much focus and determination to get it done. For example, this magazine that we've been working on, this was just something I thought of in maybe late August, and we got it going. It takes a lot of people and a lot of motivation for things to work out and come together, but that's why I try to be kind of on top of things, trying to make sure things just get done, because there's a lot of people that just talk and say they're going to do stuff, but if you want to actually grind and get it done. You got to have that mamba mentality.
So this magazine that you speak of, you
got it right here actually too.
Okay.
This is the cover of it. The first ever issue, the 805.
So tell us tell me where the idea for the magazine came from, the motivation for it. Tell us what it's about, what's in it.
So I was a journalism student at BU. But at BU, a lot of the stuff we do for journalism is like political based, or usually you don't really have as much like creative control over what you do. It's a lot of stuff that like I kind of thought was getting boring. Also a lot of sports journalism. I was doing a lot of sports journalism. And when I graduated in May 2019, I wanted to do something more fun, more creative with what I had. I did all this work. I transferred, did everything to get to where I was, and I had the degree. But I felt like I hadn't really done anything that I loved in journalism yet. So I came back to Newbury Park and kind of decided, man, what could be a fun next step? And a magazine came to mind, which is like totally unconventional, especially in 2020, because everybody will tell you magazines, like anything hard copy is going downhill and everything. And whether it is or not, I kind of feel like at this point, it's almost retro. It almost has that cool vintage feel to it to do something out of the box like a magazine. And I knew there was some people kind of in the area that were trying to be up and coming musicians, trying to rap for a career. And as a journalist, that kind of lifestyle really interested me, because it was like these people are doing things that don't necessarily have a big monetary payout right now, and some people may make fun of them or not really take them seriously, but the fact that they still grinded, they still really tried to do things, really stood out to me just as a person and as a journalist. It was something I thought was really worth capturing. So that was why I decided to go with underground rappers in the 805 area as the topic for the magazine. So it features 7 different artists from Newbury Park, Thousand Oaks, Ventura, Oxnard, all over Ventura County. And they're all really young. The oldest person in the magazine is 24 years old. So it's all really young people that while they're trying to be up and coming rappers, they also have to balance things like bartending, or they're going to school, or they work at a Vans, whatever it is. I just really thought that balance, that almost double life that these people live, was really cool and interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, that's the goal. I really have no idea where this will go. I don't know if there'll be multiple issues. I don't really know. Just right now, really just focusing on this first one and trying to make it as big of a splash as possible.
That's really neat.
Thank you.
So what other projects have you worked on, or other projects are you working on?
So right now, this is all I've been working on, this magazine, currently. But in the past, did really a lot of sports journalism stuff. That was really what interested me in college. I always, like, my early journalism dream was to be a basketball sports broadcaster. It's like all I wanted to do.
You don't say.
Yeah, exactly. Like, totally only wanted to do that. But honestly, kind of fell out of love with that in my senior year of college. I kind of realized there's more kind of interesting, cooler, more creative things to do with journalism. So I kind of stopped putting so much time into my sports journalism endeavors, and really transitioned to this magazine, which has been my main focus since August.
And when does it come out?
It's Friday, January 17th. It's dropping. We're going to have a big release party for it. All the artists are performing. Everybody who comes gets a copy of the magazine. It's taken a lot of time to create this event, put it together, make sure everyone's on the same page, because everyone's schedules need to line up together. We got photographers going. We have the venue. We have everything. So it took a lot of moving pieces, but we finally have it pretty much nailed down.
So then what happens on January 18th?
Man, I really don't know. That's something that my parents keep asking me. Like, what's the next step? And I don't totally know. My life could go in a couple different directions. Like, I could, of course, like, I grinded, I spent money at getting this degree, so maybe I want to just apply for a journalism related job, media, maybe PR, advertising, something like that, and go from there, more traditional route. Or I'm really hoping that something kind of comes into fruition with this magazine. Maybe the right person sees it. Maybe other artists in the area would be willing to pay and fund me to make another one. I don't totally know. January 18th is a big question mark on the calendar for sure. And honestly, I'm really inspired by the people that are in the magazine as well. All these artists, they spend money, they spend time, they put themselves out there, making music that isn't necessarily going to pop, or they don't know if it is or not. It's really just like me in this magazine. It's like we can put in all this effort, we can do stuff, take a leap of faith, and we'll see what sticks, we'll see what happens.
I'm pretty sure it's probably very rewarding having something that you're passionate about be so enjoyable to do too.
Yeah, it really is. It's really, I've loved every component of putting this magazine together, from linking up with the artists and doing interviews, and then now kind of in this last stage, this promotion, organizing the release party has been really fun, and it has been really rewarding just seeing things come together, people buying tickets to the pre-sale. It's like blowing my mind, like people are really spending money to come see and come be a part of this thing we put together.
That's awesome. So have you always been a hip-hop fan, or was it just...
Not at all. I used to be the most stubborn, weird music fan ever. I loved, since I was a little kid, I loved like Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Queen, kind of old school rock. That's all I was into. I totally hated rap music, hip hop music, everything, until last summer, or 2018. Literally, this is like the most random specific story, but I went to a meet and greet with an NBA player, somebody on the Lakers, Kyle Kuzma. And so you go there, you just meet him, whatever. And in line, they were blasting music. Like, I remember I was like a foot away from the speaker that was way too loud. And they were just playing trap music, Lil Pump, things like that. And I like all of a sudden fell in love with it at that moment. I was like, this goes so hard. This is so fun. These are young people doing cool things. And from then, it just kind of flipped a switch in my head. And I've just been a huge hip hop fan ever since.
That's really neat.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what would be something that would surprise people to know about you?
I would say something that people would be surprised to hear is that, honestly, this is something that probably the people in the magazine would be surprised to hear, is that, like, my dream job, if I were to really have it my way. Of course, I love journalism and everything, but I would love to be an artist myself. I would love to be a rapper. Getting on stage at a huge festival and just like going crazy to rap music would be like the ultimate dream. So that's why it's so cool to be around people that really are trying to live that lifestyle. Unfortunately, I don't have the music quality myself. Don't have a good singing voice. I won't be singing much here, but but that's something that's true about me, is that I would love to, in a perfect world, be a rap artist.
That's really neat. I think is it just the vibe of the audience and the show and just what that would make you feel?
I'm a big fan of just like things that get my adrenaline going. Like, I love roller coasters. Like, my favorite part of a basketball game is when they do the player introductions and it's like Kobe Bryant, Lower Marion High School, like kind of brings everybody out, flames going, everything like that. And I went to a music festival summer 2018, Hard Summer in Fontana, and I saw Travis Scott, Lil Skies, and I was like, I'd never felt an adrenaline rush like that before, ever. So I think that's really what attracts me to rap music.
Out in public, walking, doing what you do every day, as people walk past you, whatever their thoughts about you may be, what would be one thing you would want them to know about you?
I would want people to know that this is something that I feel like you shouldn't have to explain to people. It should be obvious through how you carry yourself. But I think something that I really always would love people to know is that I'm a hard worker. That no matter what happens, like, I love to do stuff related to journalism specifically. I love that stuff, and I'm always down to work on it, go the extra step, like enough is never enough kind of thing. And so I guess that's probably the most important thing about myself that I would like people to know.